Are they really refugees? Sometimes people seem willing to help refugees, but express doubts about whether the recipients of their help would really be refugees. Are the people we see on the news trying to cross borders or seeking asylum in the UK really refugees? Or do they just want to find better jobs and living conditions? Are they really desperate for safety, or are they just picking which country will afford them a better lifestyle? After all, they have mobile phones, so can they really be all that desperate? To engage with these issues, we need to consider some facts. Firstly, about what refugee status actually is, and second, facts about the contexts under which people are currently seeking refuge. Finally, we can philosophically scrutinise the generalisations that are being used in arguments against helping refugees. Firstly then, what is a refugee? According to the United Nations, a refugee is someone who finds themselves outside their country of nationality or lawful permanent residence, due to events that mean they are unwilling or unable to rely on the protection of the government of their country, including both persecution and fear of persecution. But are those coming to the UK under the supposed guise of seeking refuge, in fact, just seeking a better life? People who are fleeing war, persecution or violence that their state is not protecting them from are not simply seeking a better life. They are seeking conditions of a safe existence which we should all be entitled to. In actuality, many have been forced to leave their whole lives behind and hope to one day be able to return home. In any case, a recent study of refugees in the UK showed that they are mostly young, healthy and highly qualified for professional roles. It is very likely then that when forced to leave, those people lost their jobs, family ties and the lives that they had built, all in order to seek the safety many of us take for granted. The charity Médecins Sans Frontières also points out that the distinctions drawn between refugees and economic migrants vastly oversimplify. Wars and political instabilities create conditions of insecurity and extreme poverty that also threatens lives and prompts people to seek safety that they cannot find in their own country. But how can we be sure that they are refugees when they don't even have the right documentation? In countries where there is war or political instability, it can be very difficult to obtain the relevant documentation prior to leaving. For instance, in Nigeria, many people leave after their houses and belongings are destroyed by militia groups. In Syria, the UK have withdrawn their diplomatic presence, so there is no way to get a visa for travel to the UK. Airlines are also sanctioned by governments if their passengers arrive to a country without the right documentation. So it is almost impossible for people fleeing to safety to do so via safe routes. This plays into the hands of traffickers who may confiscate or steal documentation such as passports. But can we speak about what they want or what they have? The grounds for doubts discussed make claims about what they are like or what they want to do when they get here. But we have reason to be suspicious about these sorts of generalisations. Imagine if a claim was made about what the people of the UK are like. They all have total allegiance to the Queen, say. We know this is not true of each of us, and we know that we would be dismayed if we were treated on the basis of this false generalisation. When these kinds of general claims are made about people seeking refuge, this creates an us and them dynamic. This promotes stereotypes and obscures similarities between us. For example, when people suggest that they can't be refugees since they have smartphones, just think, what would you take with you if you had to leave your home and loved ones? These generalisations also assume that people seeking refuge here are a homogeneous group with the same reasons, prospects, preferences, ideals and values. But this is not true. People seeking refuge are doing so for a multitude of different reasons. They should be treated as individuals. Each person has a distinctive story that deserves to be heard.